There is something sitting in your kitchen right now. Not a medication, not a prescription, not something your doctor called in. 5 oils. Natural, inexpensive, and according to the biology of your own skin, more effective at reaching the source of your pain and inflammation than almost anything you've been swallowing for years. Here's what most people over 60 don't know. Your skin is not a barrier to healing. It is a doorway. And after the age of 60, that doorway opens even wider. Tonight, after you shower before you sleep, 5 specific oils applied to your skin will begin doing something that pills simply cannot do. They will go directly to the tissue, directly to the joints, directly to the cells that are driving your pain, your inflammation, and the way your skin is aging. No gut, no liver, no waiting for digestion. Stay with me, because the last oil on this list is the one almost nobody talks about, and it may be the most powerful of all. Before we get to the oils, you need to understand something that changes everything. As the body ages, the outer layer of skin, called the stratum corneum, gradually becomes thinner. The lipid matrix that once acted as a tight seal begins to loosen. The spaces between skin cells widen slightly. In most conversations, this gets framed as a problem. Dryness, sensitivity, loss of elasticity. But here's what rarely gets mentioned. That same change in skin structure makes transdermal absorption, the ability to absorb compounds directly through the skin into the bloodstream and surrounding tissue, significantly more efficient. What this means is that after 60, your skin is actually better at delivering therapeutic compounds to local tissue than it was at 40. Fat-soluble compounds, which is exactly what these oils are, move through that thinning lipid barrier and into the tissue beneath in under 30 seconds. They bypass the digestive system entirely. They don't get degraded by stomach acid. They don't compete with food in your gut. They don't pass through the liver before reaching the bloodstream. They go straight to where the problem is. That is the biology behind what you are about to hear. And it is why timing matters. Specifically, why nighttime application isn't just convenient, it's strategic. Between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body enters its deepest repair cycle. Growth hormone secretion peaks. Cellular regeneration accelerates. And skin permeability, the technical term for how readily your skin absorbs compounds, reaches its highest point of the day. Apply these oils at night, and your body does the rest while you sleep. If you've been dealing with chronic pain, stiff joints, or inflammation, and you've tried the standard options, there's something you deserve to hear. You have not been failing. The options you were given were simply incomplete.
Oral anti-inflammatories, the kind most people rely on, work systemically. They circulate through your entire body before reaching the joint or tissue that's causing you pain. Along the way, they stress the gut lining, they burden the liver, they thin the blood. And in people over 65, long-term use of common over-the-counter pain medications is associated with a measurably higher risk of gastrointestinal damage. Nobody tells you that on the packaging. Topical delivery, what we're talking about today, doesn't work that way. It targets the tissue directly. The therapeutic compounds concentrate where you apply them, not across your whole system. That's not a wellness claim. That's pharmacokinetics, the science of how substances move through the body. Now let's talk about the 5 oils that use this to your advantage. Oil 1. Extra virgin olive oil. The surprising number 1. This one will catch you off guard, because it is probably already in your kitchen. Extra virgin olive oil, specifically a high polyphenol, cold-pressed early harvest variety, contains a compound called oleocanthal. Oleocanthal works by inhibiting the same inflammatory enzymes as ibuprofen, COX1 and COX2, at a molecular level. Not in a vague, general sense. In the same precise biochemical mechanism that pharmaceutical NSAIDs use. Without the gastric damage, without the systemic side effects. When absorbed through the skin, oleocanthal concentrates in the local tissue. For joints, that means direct delivery to the synovial membrane. the lining that becomes inflamed in arthritis and chronic joint conditions. But oleocanthal isn't the only active compound. High polyphenol olive oil also contains squalene, a lipid that acts as an antioxidant shield for the mitochondria inside skin cells. Mitochondria are the energy engines of your cells. Oxidative damage to them is one of the primary drivers of visible skin aging. Squalene intercepts that damage before it accumulates. How to use it. Warm a small amount between your palms. Apply to the joints that bother you most: knees, hips, hands, lower back. Massage in slow circular motions for 2 to 3 minutes. The warmth from your hands accelerates absorption. One critical note: not all olive oil is the same. You want cold-pressed, unfiltered, early harvest, ideally from a single estate, with a polyphenol content listed on the label. Light-colored, odorless supermarket olive oil has been refined to the point where most of the therapeutic compounds have been stripped out. Oil 2. Black seed oil. The inflammation precision tool. Black seed oil, pressed from Nigella sativa, has been used in traditional medicine for centuries. But the reason it belongs on this list is not tradition. It's the compound at its core: thymoquinone. Thymoquinone does something that very few natural compounds can do. It selectively inhibits specific inflammatory messengers, prostaglandins and leukotrienes, without broadly suppressing immune function. This distinction matters. When immune function is broadly suppressed, the body becomes more vulnerable. Thymoquinone's precision targeting means the inflammatory signal gets turned down without compromising the body's ability to fight infection or repair tissue. It also inhibits the NF-κB pathway, sometimes called the master inflammation switch, which sits upstream of dozens of inflammatory processes in the body. Disrupting that switch doesn't just address one symptom. It reduces the overall inflammatory load at a systemic level. When applied topically, thymoquinone penetrates into the joint capsule and surrounding tissue. It also activates dormant epidermal stem cells, the cells responsible for skin regeneration, which tend to slow down significantly after 60. One published review found that black seed oil reduced C-reactive protein, a key marker of systemic inflammation, by over 50% in study participants over an 8-week period. How to use it. Apply a few drops directly to inflamed joints or areas of pain. Massage in using firm, upward strokes. For skin aging specifically, apply a thin layer to the neck and the backs of the hands, areas where stem cell activity most visibly declines with age. Choose cold-pressed, certified organic black seed oil. Look for a thymoquinone content of at least 1%, ideally 2 to 3%, on the label. Oil 3. Magnesium oil. The pain signal interrupter. Here's something that will reframe how you think about this one. Magnesium oil is not technically an oil. It is a supersaturated solution of magnesium chloride in water. It feels oily on the skin, hence the name, but it is pure mineral. That distinction matters because magnesium chloride is one of the most bioavailable forms of magnesium that exists, and most people over 60 are deficient in magnesium. Not slightly low, significantly deficient. Here is why that deficiency feeds pain. Magnesium is a natural blocker of the NMDA receptor, a nerve receptor that amplifies pain signals in the central nervous system. When magnesium levels are low, NMDA receptors become overactive. Pain signals that should be minor become magnified. Muscles that should relax stay tense. Sleep quality drops because the nervous system can't properly downregulate at night. Oral magnesium supplements are often poorly absorbed, especially in older adults whose stomach acid production has declined. Transdermal delivery bypasses that problem entirely. Applied to the skin, magnesium chloride absorbs directly into the tissue and bloodstream, saturating local receptors without the digestive issues many people experience with oral supplements. The effect on sleep is particularly significant. When NMDA receptors are properly modulated by adequate magnesium, the nervous system transitions into its parasympathetic, rest and repair, state more efficiently. Deeper sleep means longer time in the body's peak repair cycle, which means the other oils you apply tonight work even harder. How to use it. Apply magnesium oil first, before the other oils. Spray or massage it into the soles of the feet, the back of the knees, and the inner forearms. These areas have high transdermal conductance. They absorb quickly. Leave it for 5 to 10 minutes, then apply the remaining oils on top. Note: magnesium oil may cause a slight tingling sensation, especially the first few times. This is normal and fades as tissue levels rise. Oil 4. Rosehip seed oil. The skin rebuilder. Rosehip seed oil is pressed from the seeds of Rosa canina, wild rose, and it contains something that most people spend significant money trying to get from prescription products: trans-retinoic acid, a naturally occurring form of vitamin A. Vitamin A, in its retinoid form, is the most well-validated compound in the field of skin aging. It stimulates fibroblasts, the cells responsible for producing collagen and elastin. It accelerates cell turnover, clearing away damaged cells and signaling the production of new ones. And it works at a genetic level. It binds to nuclear receptors that switch on collagen synthesis genes. Prescription retinoids are potent, but come with significant skin irritation, photosensitivity, and are contraindicated in many people. Rosehip seed oil delivers the same core compound, trans-retinoic acid, in a concentration that works cumulatively over weeks without those side effects. Beyond retinoic acid, rosehip seed oil is rich in essential fatty acids, omega-3 and omega-6, that restore the skin's ceramide barrier. The ceramide barrier is the protective layer that keeps moisture in and environmental irritants out. It deteriorates significantly with age. When it breaks down, low-grade systemic inflammatory signals increase, because the skin is no longer sealing out external stressors effectively. Rebuilding the ceramide barrier doesn't just improve the way skin looks, it reduces one of the hidden drivers of systemic inflammation. How to use it. Apply rosehip seed oil to the face, neck, décolletage, and the backs of the hands. Use a light layer. A few drops is enough. Gently press it into the skin rather than rubbing. For maximum effect, apply after magnesium oil has been absorbed but before you sleep, so the retinoic acid works during the body's overnight regeneration cycle. Store it in a cool, dark place or refrigerate it. Rosehip seed oil is sensitive to light and heat. Degraded oil loses its retinoic acid content. Oil 5. Emu oil, the carrier, and why it changes everything. Emu oil is pressed from the fat of the emu, a bird native to Australia, and it may be the least familiar oil on this list, but there is a specific reason it is last. Emu oil's fatty acid profile is structurally almost identical to the lipids in human skin. That is not a coincidence of nature. It is why emu oil has been studied more extensively for transdermal delivery than almost any other natural oil. When something is structurally similar to the lipids in your skin, it doesn't just sit on the surface. It is recognized by the skin's own transport mechanisms and pulled through the barrier, carrying whatever it is blended with, deeper than that compound could penetrate on its own. This is what makes emu oil unique. It is a penetration enhancer. When it is applied alongside or after the other oils on this list, it amplifies their delivery. Oleocanthal goes deeper. Thymoquinone reaches more tissue. Retinoic acid gets further into the dermis. Beyond its carrier function, emu oil has its own therapeutic profile. It stimulates fibroblast proliferation, the same collagen-producing cells that rosehip seed oil targets. It reduces local inflammation through its high oleic acid content, and it has been shown in tissue studies to improve the appearance of scar tissue, age spots, and areas of chronic skin damage. A peer-reviewed study found that topical emu oil increased the proliferation of skin cells by over 20% compared to controls, and specifically stimulated the follicular cells involved in skin repair and regeneration. How to use it. Apply emu oil last, after all the other oils. Use it as the final layer. As it absorbs, it pulls the compounds from the layers beneath it deeper into the tissue. Warm it between your palms first, and massage firmly into the joints and skin you want to target. Then leave it. Don't rinse. Choose fully refined, pharmaceutical-grade emu oil. It should be pale yellow, nearly odorless, and smooth, not waxy or heavily colored. The nightly protocol. Here is how to put this together into a single nightly routine. The entire process takes between 5 and 10 minutes. Step 1. Shower with warm water before bed. Warm water opens the pores and slightly increases skin temperature, which accelerates absorption. Apply the oils to skin that is still slightly damp, not dripping, just not fully dry. Step 2. Apply magnesium oil first. Spray or massage it into the soles of your feet, inner forearms, and behind the knees. Wait 5 minutes. Let it begin absorbing while you do the next steps. Step 3. Warm a small amount of extra virgin olive oil in your palms and massage it into your most affected joints: knees, hips, hands, lower back. Spend 2 to 3 minutes here. Be deliberate. Step 4. Apply a few drops of black seed oil to the same joint areas and to any areas of chronic inflammation. Blend it with the olive oil already on your skin. Step 5. Apply rosehip seed oil to your face, neck, and the backs of your hands. A small amount. Press it in gently. Step 6. Apply emu oil as the final layer, across all areas you've treated. This is your sealing and delivery step. Massage firmly. The warmth and pressure will drive everything beneath it deeper into the tissue. Then sleep. Consistency is everything with this protocol. Most of the biological changes, collagen stimulation, ceramide barrier repair, NMDA receptor modulation, inflammatory pathway suppression, are cumulative. They build over 6 to 8 weeks of nightly application. The people who stop after 2 weeks and say it didn't work stopped before the biology had time to respond. Give it 8 weeks, nightly, and then reassess. Pain is not something you are supposed to just live with. Inflammation is not an inevitable sentence that comes with age, and your skin aging is not something that only prescription products can address. 5 oils. Applied consistently. Working with the biology your body already has, the same permeable skin, the same repair cycles, the same cellular machinery that has been working your whole life. The only thing that changes tonight is what you give it to work with.